and love and respect, a personal friend, and was very happy that he and Arlene can be here with us today. I'd like to give you a little information about Governor Wells, but before I do that, I would like to just say a few words about the position that he occupies. Some of you that are newer members of Rotary may not be fully aware of what a district governor is and what they do. And with I thought it might be all right if I just took a minute or two and just said a few words about that. There are, as you may know, about 35,000 Rotary clubs in the world. They are organized into districts. There are 529 districts in Rotary, and they operate under the direction of an international president and a board of 19 directors. Now, each of us that wear a Rotary pin, it says Rotary International, but none of us are members of Rotary International. We are members of a club that belongs to Rotary International. The only exception to that is the district governor. He is an officer of Rotary International, but we are members of a club that belongs to Rotary International. Being a district governor is about a 4-year commitment. And I won't go into all the details as to how the district governor is selected, but it's done each year at our district conference. We have delegates from our club. The number of delegates is determined by the size of the club, so we have more delegates than any other club in the state. They meet at district conference. They select people to be on a subcommittee along with a couple of past district governors, and they personally interview all the candidates that have been nominated by their clubs. Clubs nominate individuals to become our district governor. The basic requirements are you have to have been a Rotarian for at least 7 years and have completed a full term as president of a Rotary club. Now, some of the things that the district governor is responsible for, district governor as an officer of Rotary International is responsible for organizing new clubs, strengthening existing clubs, supporting the Rotary Foundation, promoting membership, planning and conducting a district conference, seminars. There's a variety of meetings that the governor is responsible for, as well as some training for club officers. He is also required to visit personally every club in his or her district at least once a year. This is not just a social visit today, this is an official visit from our district governor. And his purpose in being here is to get better acquainted with us and also to evaluate our club. He will send a written report to Rotary International, the board of directors, answering certain questions about the Salt Lake Rotary Club. It's his responsibility to make sure that our club is following the rules and regulations of Rotary, that we're in compliance with the bylaws and the Constitution of Rotary. About 16 years ago, Rotary Board of Directors said this is getting to be a pretty big job for the governors. Let's allow them to have assistant governors. And we're very fortunate. One of the assistant governors is a member of our club, Dr. Jay Jacobson. And to bring honor to our club, Jay, and we congratulate you on that assignment. It's pretty much a full-time job. When you think about visiting all of the clubs, going to all of the training sessions, you start out, when you're selected to be district governor, by becoming the district governor nominee. You immediately start a series of training meetings and seminars, and then once you're approved, a year later by the board, you become the district governor-elect. You serve a year in that capacity, and then on July 1st of each year, we have a new district governor who serves a 12-year, or a 12-year, a 12-month, a 1-year term. And then there are a lot of duties for the immediate past governor. So it's about a 4-year commitment once the person has been selected. Governor Wells is responsible for the things that go on in our district, the chartering of new clubs, any disciplinary action that need to be taken, making sure that our logo, our copyrighted logo, is correctly used. There are just a whole bunch of duties. You can read more about that in the International Manual of Procedures if you would care to. So that gives you some idea of who a district governor is and what their responsibilities are. Now let me tell you a little bit about our district governor. Mike has been our governor since July 1st. And I'm just delighted. I think he has a wonderful concept of Rotary, and I like very much some of the ideas and the things he plans to do. Carlene, his companion, they've been married for 37 years, and I'm so impressed with Carlene. She has a basic genuineness about her as a person. She herself is a Rotarian and has been for 7 years. And she believes in what we believe in, and she promotes, and she's happy, but she's right by the governor's side and all of the things that he does. Governor Wells graduated from Dixie College with an associate degree in 1977. He graduated from Utah State University in Logan with a degree in biology. 1980, he graduated from the University of Louisville, Kentucky in 1985. With a DMD degree. He is a practicing dentist and very highly regarded in his profession in the Tooele area. He served as club president twice. He's been the district RILA chair, chairman of the District Youth Services Foundation membership committees. He created the District Youth International Service Project at Puerto Peñasco, Mexico. And we have a special event there, which I'm sure he'll tell us about. My wife and I are planning to go. I hope you are. It's going to be a great opportunity to engage and interface with youth and to do some hands-on work of a service nature for Rotary. He was a facilitator of the Utah Youth Peace Ambassadors at the Rotary Honolulu Global Peace Forum. He's been awarded Tooele County's Outstanding Citizen of the Year. He received the Youth Link Foundation Lifetime Humanitarian Award. He's been the Rotarian of the Year. And some of his personal interests and hobbies, he's a licensed scuba diver instructor. He is a high school water polo coach. He enjoys hiking, skiing, golfing, genealogy, traveling, and continuing education in his profession. I asked Mike, what are the things that really turn you on? What drives you? What is your passion in life? And he said, what drives me first and foremost is my family. Second, I'm committed to empowering Rotarians and particularly youth. Every district governor kind of leaves their mark and emphasis, and I know Governor Wells has such a passion and strong feeling about developing youth and helping youth. You're going to see some wonderful things happening in the youth programs and a continuation of some of the things that have developed in recent years. He wants to empower Rotarians, and particularly the youth, to make a difference in the world through participation in Rotary programs. It's my honor and pleasure to turn the time over now, and would you please stand as we welcome our District Governor, Michael Wells.
Thank you very much. Well, it's a great honor, honestly. As Jim said, this is kind of new on in the year, and I'm so excited to come here first because truly, as I met with the board and met with the leadership clubs, this is such a shining example of Rotary. What this club does, the heritage, all the service that you accomplish, you're in such a great position to lead this district, to lead Rotary International, and the things that you do and the example that you set, and the passion that you have to really make this world a better place. So I'm thrilled to be with you, to share a few thoughts and things, the vision that I have with the district, but also to recognize what an incredible club and learn more about you. It's been really a lot of fun for Carmen and my day. And she is certainly I can't do this without her. It's a huge job, I'll be honest. Not only am I visiting all the Rotary clubs, I'm also visiting the Interact clubs and the Rotary clubs. And somehow I got to see patients who've been wondering if I could retire and didn't tell them. But It's a great pleasure to be here with you. So what I'd like to do is to introduce us a little bit and introduce our family. So Brian and I, we live in Twilla. We have 4 children. We have 7 grandchildren with 1 on the way. Getting a picture of the family shot is kind of like a shot in time because it changes so quickly. So we got a picture last summer, and it's already become obsolete, but we have another grandchild on the way, but we're very proud of our kids. They're all over the country doing good things. And we have some upcoming Rotarians. Our youngest daughter on the right, she and her husband just joined the Rotary Club in Austin, Texas. So we're pretty proud of them. Also want to introduce our president this year for Rotary International, Gary Holm. And we're going to learn a little bit about him and about his vision and how that all comes together. And he has this great theme that we're going to talk about. I think probably the best thing to do is I'm going to let him share that theme with you. So I have a recording of when we were at the International Summit when he actually announced what the theme would be.
No, the Chinese philosopher, Confucius. Sometimes I call him the world's first Rotarian. Because even though he died 2,500 years before Rotary was formed, his ideas are very much Rotary ideas. And one of the things he said was, 与其抱怨，不如改变. In English, you say, it is better to light a single candle than to sit and curse the darkness. This one line sums up everything we think in Rotary. There are so many problems in the world, so many people who need help. And many people say, there's nothing I can do. They sit there, do nothing. Everything stays dark. But this is not the Rotary way. The Rotary way is the Confucius way. The Rotary way is to light a candle. I light one. You light one. More than 1.2 million people all light one. Together, we light up the world. And that is what I want you to do. I want you all to light up Rotary. I want you all
This is a very exciting event. Everybody's been anticipating. What's the theme? What are we going to be doing this year? This is how he introduced it. I'm going to step out here a little bit and share with you what a great vision that Gary has by lighting up Rotary. You can see his culture. It has these Chinese lantern, and it has light up Rotary. So what he's saying to Rotary is, well, several things. We have many opportunities to light up Rotaries. We can take that bushel over the top of us and let the world see what we're doing. Let them know the great things that Rotary is accomplishing. And also, maybe it means to put a fire under a Rotarian if we need to. That's another way to light up Rotary, right? But we can have a lot of fun with this. We're going to do some things I'm going to talk about later on that the district will be sponsoring. But imagine with your club, how can we light up Rotary? How can we tell the world the amazing things that Rotary is doing, and particularly our community and our state? What I want to talk about is why I'm a Rotarian. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why we joined the Rotary Club. For me, I went to my very first meeting. Wally Brown had asked me to come, and it talked about youth programs. I'm going, wow, this is incredible. What opportunities. I first thought it was for my own family, but then for all youth, to expand their horizons, to learn what they can make a difference in the world. There's a lot of different reasons. So, Linda, I'm going to ask you. Now everybody's getting nervous. Why did you become a Rotarian? What was that thing that just said, wow, that's cool, I want to do that?
International service and what we can do and the friendship.
And the friendships. The friendships, international service, what can we do all around the world? Scott, what was the thing that grabbed you?
Well, I was going to be able to meet people that I never get to meet otherwise.
Meet people you never, and has that happened?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Boy, in the few years that we have, Troy and I have been serving and preparing for this position, we have met the most amazing people in the world. If nothing else, an incredible opportunity to rub shoulders with people that are doing incredible things in the world. Well, that's what gets us. There's something that grabs us. Something says, yeah, that's neat, but why have I stayed a Rotarian? Because I found that there's kind of two different reasons. It has to be more than that initial grab. What is it that makes us want to stay, makes us want to serve? There's a lot of different reasons. John, what's the reason? What's kept you coming back?
The friendships that are made through Rotary are very meaningful. Plus seeing what Rotary has done within the world internationally. Those projects doing good in the world.
Fantastic. Dwayne, now, for those of you who don't know, Dwayne is really he's the glue that holds this whole district together as chief of staff. The role he plays, you may not hear as much about, but I got to tell you, one of the most important district officers in our district, and I could not do what I'm doing without his support and strength. But Dwayne, what keeps you coming back?
Diversity.
Diversity. Can you a little more?
So often in Utah we get caught in our own little world. Maybe just neighbors and that's it. But Rotary opens the world up with us.
We see the bigger picture, don't we, with Rotary? Absolutely. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit why I stay, why I am still a part of it. Well, there's kind of two main things. One is I got a tool belt when I joined Rotary. Well, maybe not exactly like that. But when I joined Rotary, there's something in all of us that says, I want to make a difference. I want to leave my mark. I want to make the world a little better place. But I don't know how to do that. When I joined Rotary, they gave me a big toolkit that showed me tools of how I could make a difference. And the more I learned about it, I learned that when I joined with other members, they all had their own tools. And man, we could do some great things with all these tools. We could accomplish a lot of good. Well, then I learned in Rotary about this thing that lets us do really big things. I mean, we're not talking hammering anymore. We're moving to big chainsaws that cut down forests and trees that can accomplish big things. Then I learned about the big equipment, okay? So these machines can move entire mountains. So what I learned was these little machines, smaller than the dozer, that's like our district grants. That's the foundation that provides us the funds to really get out there and do some things. Global grants, on the other hand, can be huge impact, literally moving mountains in communities where we interact throughout the world. So Rotary gave us these incredible tools to make things happen. Well, those big tools take gas to run. Without gas, that dozer's not moving a thing. Well, that gas comes from the TRF, the Rotary Foundation. The foundation is the gas that makes all these things happen. So as we support the foundation through supporting the annual fund, the permanent fund, these different things, that money comes back to us in 3 years. Everything we give comes back to us in 3 years, and that's the money that we use for district grants and global grants to do these incredible projects that are impacting lives. Today in the directors meeting, we talked about this great project with Morocco and the incredible things that are happening because of the efforts that you've made to interact with this country, to train their surgeons, and how it's affecting lives is fantastic. So the TRF, We got to put gas in the tank. The great thing about the foundation, you know, we talk about money, we talk about supporting it, we talk about what we need to do to make it happen, and your support of that is huge. But what it comes to is the foundation allows us to do these things. The lame to walk, the blind to see. What a great example right here in this club, as we learned about a young lady that has come as going through rehabilitation and truly has learned to walk, who before could not when she arrived. Through the foundation, the blind to see. In the International Assembly, sat next to a man that shared how $5 was all it took to give sight to the blind that suffered from cataracts. Also had the opportunity to sit next to Saltak Alpay, tremendous Rotarian from Istanbul, and he shared the story the experience he had, and I asked, can I get the pictures from you? Can I share it? Because it's such an amazing story. Zefak is in Istanbul, and they had a global grant, and that was to do a literacy project to teach the illiterate women in the very poor areas of Istanbul. And so their project, they would have at the end of their classes, they have a graduation. At this graduation, one of the young ladies received her diploma but had to tuck it under her arm because she did not have any hands. And she said, I have a note, would you please get it out of my pocket and read it for everybody? And then in the note, she thanked everybody for the incredible opportunity she had to have an education and to learn to read and write. And they said, the director said, well, who can we thank for writing this beautiful note? And she was a little put out, says, I wrote this note because I've learned to read and write. And said, how is that possible? Well, she showed them. She not only learned to read and write, she learned to write with her feet. Well, this is an amazing story, and it got the attention of Rotary International because now she became a teacher at this class. Because of the funds of the foundation, making this possible, getting the materials, the training, this young lady is now a teacher in that class and is teaching other students hope, teaching them of abilities and possibilities through Rotary. Again, more attention. She was recognized on the Rotarian, and because of this, she was able, with her district and through another grant, be able to be fitted so that she could have prosthetic arms. Now, you'd think that would be the most amazing thing in her life, but this watch, can you imagine? She said, this, in tears, is the most precious thing in my life, because never in my life did I ever think I could wear a watch. Isn't that funny? Things that we take for granted. Well, that was a life-changing experience for her. Can you imagine how her life has changed because of the Rotary Foundation? And I know if you can't read that very well, but on the top of that name tag, this is the rest of the story. It says Salt Lake City. She was a special guest at the Rotary International Convention here in Salt Lake City, and here she is on stage speaking with Bill Boyd. So what can you imagine how her life has changed from the slums of Istanbul because of Rotary, because of the foundation. Number two, things why they keep me coming back. Through Rotary, we see the bigger picture. We see the possibilities. We went to convention. Carlene, when I told her that I was going to become a Rotarian and that I was going to be club president and that we had this convention to go to, she's going, are you kidding? You've got all this and that going on. She wasn't so sure about that. Well, she went, said, well, come to this convention. I think we'll learn a lot more about what's going on. And there you see the bigger picture. You see 25,000 Rotarians, and you learn about the amazing things that's going on in the world. Absolutely incredible. And she said, well, you know what? I got to be a part of this. So a couple years later, she's the club president. That's what you get when you're a small club. But when you see that bigger picture, I'm telling you, it changes everything because you realize how amazing this organization is. It's not just what our club does. Magnify that by 35,000 other clubs. Incredible things happen. So how can we see the bigger picture? Well, by going to assemblies, a leadership institute that we talked about, and the board meeting, partnering with other clubs, attending, going and visiting other clubs. Each club has their own culture, and it's really fun for us to go visit and see that. And then you have district conference, Zone Institute, and of course the international convention. Trine said her comment when we were at the convention was, I have never seen so many smiling people in my life. Amazing, because they're all doing good things, and it makes you feel good. 1905, Rotary was started by 4 men. They formed it because of fellowship, because they sought to have that bond. And that's in our DNA as Rotary, fellowship, being together, working together, but it needed to have more substance, and so they added service to that. And one of the things that they learned, and this is a phrase, I got to tell you right now, a few years ago, I got really tired of hearing this phrase, because every time she said it, man, I was having to get off the couch and do something. So I don't want to hear that anymore in my life. But what those 4 men learned, many hands make light work. They were going to install a public toilet, and they knew they needed more help. So many hands make light work, and we can accomplish a lot more. So in Rotary, bigger really is better, okay? Because we can do more good. It's really that simple. The more of us there are, that's why membership's so important. It's not about the numbers. We limit ourselves about the amount of good we can do by the number of members. We can only do so much as a person. But the more of us that exist, the more of us that are out there, the more good we can do in the world. We can do it because we can. And the great thing about Rotary, what they do, they focus our energies. Because of Rotary's vision, we have taken an incredible worldwide disease, and we are conquering that because they were able to focus all those energies. And the amazing thing that's accomplishing that is immeasurable to the world. Thank you to Rotary. So light up Rotary. Share a short vision of what we're doing in a district to promote this message of light up Rotary. We're having a Rotary Days. That's one of the things Gary Wong, our president, has asked, that we do a Rotary Days. And a Rotary Day is simply tell the world, tell your community, tell the state, what is Rotary doing? Well, we've decided to use the theme of End Polio Now as a message that we'll be sharing. And we're going to do a Rotary week, not just a day. It starts October 20th. We're meeting on the Capitol steps, and Governor Herbert is going to sign a bill that proclaims that week as Utah Rotary End Polio Now Week. So we'll be putting it out. We'll have the media letting the world know, letting Utah know what Rotary is doing. During that week, the youth will be heavily involved with fundraisers. They'll be doing Purple Pinky projects, which is where the kids in their schools are educated, learn about polio, and they each pay $1 to get their pinky inked in purple, because when children are vaccinated in these other countries, to mark them, they put little purple pinkies on, or paint them. Now say that 5 times real fast. Holy cow. They purple pinkies pens paints them purple. I just made that up. So that'll be happening all week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Our interactors will be heavily engaged in that. And then we're going to have a fundraiser. We're going to have a fun walk, a little bit different. It's going to be a zombie fun walk. You don't have to come dressed up, but a lot of our interactors or Rotary actors will be coming dressed up as zombies. It is a few days before Halloween. And the University of Utah, I didn't know this, but they actually have a zombie class to teach you how to walk. I didn't know this, but anyway, they're going to come down and help us to know how to do it right. Anyway, we're going to scare out polio. It's something a lot of fun, but the most important thing is we've got a lot of media attention. They're going to learn what Rotary is doing. And they're going to learn, you know what? We're not just old guys eating lunch. We're having a lot of fun with what we're doing. And then afterwards, we're going to have a big barbecue for all the participants. And then we're going to have a really special concert with a headliner. We're just in the process of tying up. But the thing that I really want you to know that we're going to have is that prior to the actual music, we're going to have a speaker. His name is Ramesh Ferris. He's in the red shirt. He's a polio survivor. Got polio. He's from India. Got polio when he was 6 months old. And his mother had to give him up because there was no way she could care for him. His life's journey is an experience you'll never forget. As I sat and listened to him for the first time, I was blown away by his story. And it doubled my commitment to support polio. I can tell you, this is a free event. Everybody's invited to come. You will want to continue support of polio as you learn about his life's journey. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is district conference. Now, it's going to be a little bit different than it's ever been before. But it's going to be exciting. We're going to Puerto Peñasco, Mexico. Now, we've been going, and I think just last month, that you have visitors that went to Mexico, and the youth that shared their experience. Well, we're going to go down and we're going to piggyback on that. And we're going to be doing service along with the youth, but we're also going to be doing a lot of other things. Working in the schools, working in the orphanages, in the old folks' homes. We're doing vision classes, clinics, and a lot of things are going on. Right now, our website is just up. You can go to districtfiesta2015.com. You can find all the information you need, how to register, housing possibilities, transportation, everything you need to know how to be involved in that conference. It will be a life-changing experience because here Rotarians see the bigger picture. They get to interact with each other, and the synergy that happens because of that, I think, is something that will leave people forever altered. Particularly what we're doing is we are inviting families, all families to come and join, and particularly non-Rotarian families. In our club, Twila, we have 10 non-Rotarian families signed up to go on this experience. People want to have this experience for their kids. This is a great way to build people for your club. We had our fiesta where we introduced the plan. 2 of the families that were there said, do we have to wait till June to join your club, or could we start now? So I think we can work that out. We can make it happen. So we're going to be doing service every morning, and you got your choice. You can do whatever you want, what kind of service, do as little or as much, take a day off. Mornings are service. The afternoon, we'll have fellowship all day long. The afternoons will be fun. There will be activities. We'll have sandcastle building contests for the little ones, cooking classes, salsa dancing. I think we got a few candidates here. But a lot of fun things in the afternoon, and then every evening, the downtown, this is a small village, so it's not like a big downtown, but they have an amphitheater down there. We'll have a fiesta every night. So it's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting. You're going to have a great experience, and in all of it, we'll be doing it with our new Puerto Peñasco Rotary Club down there. We'll be working side by side with the Mexican Rotarians as well. So I'd like to close this up, time's just about gone, to share a personal thing about Rotary, how it's impacted my life. And I shared this with the President-elects at PETS, and I actually never shared this with anybody else, but I think that I want you to know where I'm coming from, how much I love Rotary, and why it is so important. So in 1980, I became a Rotarian. I just didn't know it. I didn't know what Rotary was. It wouldn't be until 2002 that I actually became a Rotarian or even heard of it. But I became one in June of 1980 because in the evening at 3 in the night, my wife and I just moved to Kentucky where I was going to go to dental school. We were looking for a place to live. At the time we were staying with her sister and the brother-in-law, and they were these managers for condominiums. And so we were staying with them while we looked for a place to stay. Well, at 3 in the morning one night, we hear what we thought was a firecracker. Well, you know, at 3 in the morning, the cobwebs are pretty dense, and as the senses came to us, we realized that there was smoke in the room, and that there were 3 men standing over us that had nylons pulled over their heads, and they all had guns. And they were yelling and screaming at us. And I got to tell you, that gets your attention really fast. You wake up really fast. And it was so chaotic. There was so much yelling and the reverberation from the gunshot that was fired. We had a space about 2 feet between my wife who was sleeping, where she was at in bed, and where our 6-month-old baby was. They fired around into the floor right there. They wanted us to know they meant business, and they were yelling at us, telling us they were going to kill us. We didn't do what they said. You know, we didn't offer any resistance. What I remember so clearly was that she was as cool as a cucumber. She was amazing. She actually really help to defuse the situation a little bit. But before we could even say anything, one of them grabbed my head by my hair, which I have to say was a lot longer back then, and pulled me out of the bed. They ripped the lamp out of the wall and used the cords to tie my hands behind my back. And they had me kneeling down on the floor at that time. And then the leader of the group, he has a .38 special, 2-inch barrel. It's got hollow point bullets. He's got a rubber grips. I know that because he puts it right here. And at that point, I'm starting to get a little nervous. But then he pulls the hammer back. And I think that's it. Because even if he doesn't want to, if he hiccups or slips, then it's all over. We know how they say your life passes before your eyes. I got to tell you, it does. I do not know how that happens, but in the short space of seconds, you get the big, fast rewind of everything. And in that second, I think we all maybe in that position want to make a few promises, but in that moment, I didn't know it, but in that moment I became a Rotarian because I knew I needed to do more. That I had not done enough, that I needed to be more. But I didn't know how to do that. I thought, well, my profession's good, I can help people with that. But I did not know, it always stuck in me that I needed to be more, but what? How do I do that? Well, in 2002, when I attended a Rotary meeting, I knew, right then, I knew that this was the answer to the question I've been having for several years. I knew that Rotary was the answer because in Rotary, I could be more. I could do more. My dear fellow Rotarians, we're going to make a difference this year. We're going to change the world. We're going to change some individuals' world dramatically. But we're going to make a difference because we can. So I challenge you this year to be more. To be the best Rotarian you can, to give more, to serve more, be more, because we can. Thank you.
Governor and Carleen, thank you for being here. Thank you for your inspiration.